Hi dear students. So today let us discuss about the topic sterilization and disinfection. Why do we need to sterilize an object? Because microorganisms are the agents of contamination, infection and decomposition. Hence it becomes necessary to remove them from materials and areas. Earlier methods like salting, smoking, pickling and exposure to sunlight was performed in order to achieve sterilization. So let's see what the definition of sterilization is. It is a process by which all living cells, spores and acellular entities are either destroyed or removed from an object or habitat. So what makes it different from disinfection? Disinfection means reducing the number of pathogenic microorganisms to the point where they no longer cause diseases. And disinfectants are agents, usually chemical, used to carry out disinfection. Let's also check into certain terms related to this topic. Sepsis. It comes from the Greek word meaning decay, and it indicates bacterial contamination. Asepsis. It means absence of significant contamination. Aseptic techniques are used to prevent contamination of surgical instruments, medical personnel and the patient during surgery. Aseptic techniques are also used to prevent bacterial contamination in food industry. Now, what's bacteriostatic agent? An agent that inhibits the growth of bacteria but does not kill them is termed as bacteriostatic agent. And the substances that kill organisms often have the suffix "cide", which means in Latin to kill. So bactericide means the agent that kills bacteria, and sporicide means the agent that kills spores, and fungicide means the agent that kills fungus. Let's check into the methods of sterilization. It's broadly divided into three: physical methods, chemical methods and mechanical method. Under physical methods, there are heat and radiation, and under heat there is dry heat sterilization and moist heat sterilization, and radiation consists of UV light and ionizing radiation, and there are chemical methods and there are mechanical methods that include filtration. Chemical agents are again divided into gaseous and liquid form, and mechanical methods include air and liquid filtration. Let's check in detail with the physical methods of sterilization. In that, sterilization by dry heat. Many objects are best sterilized in the absence of water by dry heat sterilization. So first let's talk about hot air oven. It kills by oxidative effect. The oven utilizes dry heat to sterilize articles and is operated between 50 degrees Celsius to 300 degrees Celsius. A holding period of 160 degrees Celsius for 1 hour is desirable for hot air oven. And for temperature control, there is thermostat. And the double-walled insulation keeps the heat in and conserves energy. Hot air oven is used to sterilize forceps, scissors, scalps, swabs, and also pharmaceutical products like liquid paraffin, dusting powder, fats, grease. Next method coming under sterilization by dry heat is flaming or incineration. Inoculation loop or wire, the tips of forceps and spatulas can be held near the Bunsen flame till they are red hot. This is an excellent method for destroying Materials such as contaminated cloth, animal carcasses, and pathological materials. Next method under physical agents is moist heat sterilization. Moist heat sterilization kill microorganisms by coagulating their proteins. Moist heat readily kills viruses, bacteria, and fungi. It is thought to kill by degrading nucleic acids and by denaturing enzymes and other essential proteins. Moist heat sterilization is carried out with following methods. First one is temperature below 100 degrees Celsius. It involves methods like pasteurization and inspissator. Then temperature at 100 degrees Celsius, that's boiling. And steam at atmospheric pressure. Use Koch or Arnold steamer. And steam under pressure, we use autoclave. The first one is pasteurization, which comes under temperature below 100 degrees Celsius. Pasteurization is a heat treatment process used widely in the dairy and food industries for microbial control and preservation of the food consumed usually at a temperature below 100 degrees Celsius. It involves the process of killing of pathogen in the milk but does not sterilize it. There are various methodologies that is involved in pasteurization process like Holder method, flash process, ultra high temperature. That is UHT treatment. So in Holder method or low temperature long time method, the milk is heated at 63 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. And in flash process, it's otherwise known as high temperature short time process. The milk is heated at 72 degrees Celsius for 15 to 20 seconds, followed with a rapid cooling to 30 degrees Celsius. And in ultra high temperature, the food is the food is heated above 135 degrees Celsius with an exposure period of 1 or 2 seconds. And thus treated UHT milk will be having a shelf life of 6 to 9 months. Next method coming under temperature below 100 degrees Celsius is inspissator. In inspissator, it sterilizes by heating at 80 to 85 degrees Celsius for half an hour for 3 successive days. It is used to sterilize media such as Launston-Jensen and Loeffler's serum. Next is temperature at 100 degrees Celsius. Previously, we will be talking about temperature below 100 degrees Celsius. So temperature at 100 degrees Celsius, we can use water bath for boiling, and it kills vegetative forms of bacterial pathogens. For viruses like hepatitis virus, it can survive up to 30 minutes of boiling, and endospores can survive up to 20 hours or more of boiling. So we have to boil it for extended period of time. Next method coming under moist heat sterilization is steam at atmospheric pressure. So we can use steam sterilizer or otherwise known as Koch or Arnold steamer. So the steam is generated using a steamer, and it consists of a tin cabinet like this, and it has a conical lid to enable the drainage of condensed steam. Perforated tray above ensures materials are surrounded by steam. For media containing gelatin, exposure of 100 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes for 3 successive days is used. And for routine sterilization, exposure of 90 minutes is used. And this whole process is termed as tyndallization or intermittent sterilization. Tyndallization was proposed by John Tyndall. This process involves boiling for a period, typically 20 minutes at 100 degrees Celsius on each of several days. At each heating, the developed bacteria are destroyed, but the spores which are unaffected will germinate during the intervening periods and are subsequently destroyed. The 3 incubation periods are to allow heat-resistant spores surviving the previous boiling period to germinate to form the heat-sensitive vegetative stage, which will be killed by the next boiling step. Since it consists of 3 incubation periods and exposed it in an interval, it's termed as intermittent sterilization. The last method coming under moist heat sterilization is steam under pressure, that is using autoclave. And it's very important that work on the principle of steam under pressure. It's invented by Charles Chamberlain in 1879. Autoclave consists of a vertical or a horizontal cylinder, and one end has an opening which is meant for keeping materials to be sterilized. The lid is provided with a pressure gauge to measure the pressure. A safety valve is present to permit the escape of steam from the chamber. Articles to be sterilized are placed in the basket provided, and sterilization is carried out at 50 lbps pressure at 121 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. The air in the chamber is evacuated and filled with saturated steam. The chamber is closed tightly. The steam keeps on filling into it and the pressure gradually increases. The items to be sterilized get completely surrounded by saturated steam, which on contact with the surface of material to be sterilized condenses to release its latent heat of condensation, and this also adds to already raised temperature of steam, so that eventually all the microorganisms in whatever form are killed. So let's see what are the advantages of this method. Here the temperature is greater than 100 degrees Celsius, therefore spores are killed. Condensation of steam generates extra heat, that is the latent heat of condensation that I earlier talked about. And this condensation also allows the steam to penetrate rapidly into porous materials. Once using autoclave, it's always necessary to monitor it. So there are physical, chemical and biological methods to monitor it. Talking about the physical method, we can use a thermocouple to measure accurately the temperature. And for the chemical method, we can use autoclave tape or bronze tube. These are heat sensitive chemical that changes the color at the right temperature and exposure time. And coming to the biological method, spore bearing organisms such as Geobacillus thyrothermophilus is added during the sterilization process and then cultured later to ensure that it has been killed. So if the organism survive means, or if we culture it and we see the organism means, the autoclave is not functioning properly. Okay. So if it has been killed means it's functioning properly, it's working properly.